Hey, how's it going everybody? Today I wanted to talk about the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that just released a few days ago. And I want to talk about my hopes and fears about this movie, because I think that this movie can be really great or it can be really disappointing, and I hope it's the former. So, to start off with, I really enjoyed this trailer. I enjoyed everything we got from it. Visually, it looks really good, and I'm interested to see what the story's going to be. And I've kind of had some of my fears put to rest by this trailer because I was worried that this was going to feel like an episode of the show. I wanted the budget for this to be the movie budget we want it to be. And so far, from what I've seen, it looks like it's of a higher quality visually than the show. And the show, that's not to say that the show looked bad or anything like that, but there's a difference between what you can do in an episode of a show budget-wise and what you can do with a movie. And so I'm glad to see that the movie, at least from the trailer, looks like it's of a higher visual quality. Overall, I think the trailer really just made this movie look like fun. I hope this movie is going to be as fun as the trailer is making it seem. I think that there's a lot to explore here. You know, we're in the underworld / the outer rim. We're seeing some familiar faces, which I'm excited for. Love having Embo in live action, something I never thought we would ever get. But it's great to have Embo back. Of course, we've got Rada the Hutt, who is the gladiator Hutt in that trailer. Again, another character, until this movie was being made in the early stages, I never thought we would see Rada the Hutt ever again, or even really acknowledge his existence at all. So it's cool to have him back, and it's great to have Zeb. I love Zeb in Star Wars Rebels. I love all the core Rebels crew, and so to have Zeb back involved in something again is great. I love that, especially having Steve Blum back to reprise his role. It's great. I love it. I think some of my fears for this movie would be that this becomes a cameo fest. We've already got Embo, we've already got Rada, we've already got Zeb, and so I'm worried that they're gonna throw in a bunch more characters that we know just as cameos or just because. Because if they're already revealing Embo and Rada and Zeb, their scenes in the trailer, then I'm concerned that there are more to come. And I wouldn't mind one or two if it fits the story, but I don't want this to just shoehorn in a bunch of characters that don't need to be here and it just be, you know, a big glup shitto cameo fest. And I think my other fear for this movie comes from the fact that we don't really know the story of the movie. Don't get me wrong, I love not knowing the story of the movie. Maybe they've teased some things that I've just missed. I don't want to know. I don't want to know any plot points until I'm in the theater watching it. But not knowing does kind of concern me at the same time, just because what are they going to do with this movie to warrant it being a movie? Why would they make this a movie and not just season 4 of The Mandalorian? I hope that the story that we're given in this movie is deserving of a movie. But other than that, I'm excited about everything. The trailer really got me excited. It looks like a lot of fun, and I'm just hoping that it's good. And I think also I'm just excited to have Star Wars back on the big screen. You never really know how much you miss it until it's right there and you're about to get it back. And then you're like, wow, we had this for years, not that long ago, and then it just stopped. It's great to have Star Wars back on the big screen, and I can't wait for this movie, and I really hope my expectations are not going to disappoint me. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about The Mandalorian and Grogu for now. I guess we'll talk about this more when the movie comes out, and we see what people's reactions to it are and all that jazz. So, until next time, bye.